heightened financial turmoil that we have experienced of late may well lengthen the period of weak economic performance and further increase the risk to growth.
Wall Street has shaken the American people's faith in our economy.
Customers are freaked out, waiting to see how low the Dow will go.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
You're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors.
The American financial system is rocked to its foundation as top Wall Street institutions topple under a mountain of debt.
It's a philosophy that lets Washington lobbyists shred consumer protections and distort our economy so it works for the special interests instead of working people.
I'm offering 10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for some pizza.
And this is the biggest story of this decade going forward.
We have something called the Bitcoin. Now, what's the Bitcoin? Bitcoin is an electronic online digital currency.
And we have never done this before in the history of humanity. This invention is truly revolutionary.
And our latest interest has been a lot in Bitcoin and BitInstant.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
The drug kingpin, who goes by the name Dread Pirate Roberts, appears to have cornered the internet drug market. His real name is Ross Ulbricht, and his website, Silk Road.
The cryptocurrencies hit the $1,000 value mark.
And one of the biggest, Mt. Gox, unexpectedly shut down today.
Do you still have everyone's Bitcoin? Do you still have everyone's Bitcoin?
Then you come up with a number of about $2 to $5 million per Bitcoin.
The mystery man behind Bitcoin.
I'm not in Bitcoin.
A currency that's really going to work eventually?
Well, I think it is working.
I mean, you can't use Bitcoin as money. How can you make a loan?
That Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Yes. Bitcoin is better than currency in that.
That's a statement. What do you fear?
I could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it.
Right. You're only a public figure because you cosplay as Satoshi, right?
It is the most powerful technology that the world has seen, I believe, since the invention of agriculture.
I've never hired a single sock puppet. I don't need to be insulted. But please post this.
The digital currency jumped past $18,000.
Story, I tell you what goes up must come down. Yeah, Bitcoin is sliding.
Technically, you kind of lost your money.
Rat poison?
Well, probably rat poison squared.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
Trump tweeted, "I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies."
So back to the internet, I believe the internet will have a native currency.
You're sort of talking about, Bitcoin being in the $8, $9, $10 million a coin.
And governments cannot stop this innovation.
It's a store of value. It's a speculative store of value, like gold.
Bitcoin falling its single biggest daily amount since 2013.
The Federal Reserve announcing at this time programs to pump about $2.3 trillion into the economy.
Can you characterize everything that the Fed has done this past week as essentially flooding the system with money?
Yes. And there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. We will do whatever we need to do.
Buzz Lightyear had no idea, did he, Steve? To infinity and beyond?
I didn't know he was talking about monetary policy at that point, Doug.
We're watching the birthing of the store value.
Hey, how many days is it till the halving?
It's about 11 days.
Start learning about a new financial system. This system is called Bitcoin. It was created for this very purpose. They are killing us with our own money.
The Bitcoin white paper is one of the most seminal works of computer science in the last 20, 30 years. It's poetry.
I'm getting Bitcoin! Fuck this shit!
In an interesting twist of fate, they're kind of having the rug pulled out from under them. Because now Bitcoin is disruptive to gold.
And Plan B's model is going to be invalid, but it's going to be invalid to the upside.
And then I dropped $500 million into it, which is 20 years of corporate earnings.
Jack Dorsey's company Square buying $50 million worth of Bitcoin.
PayPal cashing in on the crypto craze, a payment company announcing a new feature that will allow users to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. Bitcoin alert, the cryptocurrency surging to its highest level in nearly 3 years.
Bitcoin could be an asset class that has a lot of attraction as a store of value.
And it's been the single best performing asset category in every one of those periods.
Mass Mutual is the latest member to join, buying $100 million. That Bitcoin should be worth about $400,000.
It's engineered to be superior to gold in all aspects.
An avalanche of institutional investors heading in.
Cap of $500 billion. It's the wrong market cap.
I think it will create an enormous power redistribution.
Completely devastated. Bitcoin goes to the moon.
Record-breaking run for Bitcoin prices, which broke through the 23,000 mark a day after hitting the 20,000 mark.
Not that much time left. Let's talk rocket ships. First, Bitcoin. That falls into that category because that's what that is. 39,000.
Tesla, are you ready for this? We have invested an aggregate $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, the company says. Bitcoin, it broke through the $50,000 level.
Bitcoin is the first store of value ever in which its supply is entirely unaffected by its demand.